Hey Spuds, how's it going? It's Jamie, welcome back to another video. First video on the channel, I don't know, but welcome either way. I'm very glad to have you here for what I hope is going to be a more heartwarming video. There is a TV show, I don't know if it's only in the UK or if there are other versions in different countries, but this is a UK version of this TV show called First Dates, and it's where people on television go on a first date with somebody else. All different types of people, all different types of dates, age ranges, everything. It's for the most part a very heartwarming show, and I found some clips specifically of trans people going on a first date with somebody, and they tell the date that they are trans, and this is the little reaction clips and stuff. So I thought we could watch these together and yeah, just enjoy them. I think they're all positive. But before the first date, it's time for our first ever episode of
The Blow High Adventures.
Hi Blow High. We all know that you have a very busy life protecting trans communities worldwide, so thank you so much for visiting us today. He says you're welcome. So Blow High, what have you been up to? Whoa, you went to Thailand this year to celebrate the fact that they've just legalized gay marriage and they're investing millions into providing HRT to trans people. But despite being very excited for the trip, you felt anxious and homesick. Hard relate. So you're working through your fave movies alphabetically, but Madagascar and Minions aren't available on Thai Netflix. But luckily, your buddy Surfshark, protector of the internet, helped you out, keeping you protected when you use the internet away from home and unlocking content so that you could watch whatever you wanted wherever you are, including Madagascar and Minions. Amazing. Thanks, Blow High. Happy adventuring. We can't wait to see what you get up to next. Thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. Blow High is absolutely right. His good buddy Surfshark can help you out in many, many ways. With over 3,200 servers in 100 countries, just like Blow High, you too can travel all the way to Thailand and still connect to UK Netflix and get your fix of Gru with his little yellow Tic Tacs. Because Surfshark allows you to change your virtual location. And it's not just creature comforts that Surfshark can help you with. Like Blow High, you can change your virtual location with Surfshark to access cheaper prices on things like flights, hotels, car rentals, and even everyday items, because many websites price differently based on the location that you're accessing them from, which this fact blew my mind the first time I discovered it. Very useful. Blow High saved a pretty penny on his flights and hotel. He didn't need a car rental though, he's a shark, obviously. And luckily for us, Blow High got some very nice mates rates from Surfshark, so we can all save some money. All the spuds who sign up using my link, surfshark.com/jammy, will get a whole extra 4 months for free of Surfshark. Whether you're at home, at your local coffee shop, or in Thailand celebrating LGBTQ+ milestones, Surfshark encrypts your online data so you don't become an easy victim of identity theft, phishing attempts, or fraudulent purchases. And Surfshark One also gives you access to features like antivirus and alternative ID, where you can do things like create proxy emails to avoid data leaks and spammy inboxes for even more protection. There's also a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you really have nothing to lose, so go check out Surfshark now using the link in the description box. Blow High for your trans safety, Surfshark for your online safety, and me for your feel-good trans videos that we're hoping today's is going to be, and let's get on with it. Yay!
So I heard you say you need someone tall today.
I hope so, yeah.
I hope so. How tall are you? Do you mind me asking?
6'1".
6'1".
Same.
You need a guy at least 6'1"?
Ideally.
Right.
A big, dark, nice-smelling man.
I heard a big, dark, nice, smelly man, but I think she said smelling.
When it comes to dating, I struggled with it. If I like someone, I'll not really tell them. I'm open about it. You're about to tell them one thing about your history, and it could change everything. Dating as a trans person is just a minefield. An absolute minefield.
I think this comes from like internal feelings of trans people like taking on board that message that comes from certain people within society that trans people are undateable and unlovable, which is absolutely not true, but I think a lot of us like internalize that and are like, oh my god, I'm not lovable. You are. But it also comes from those outside forces of other people feeling like it's somehow shameful or embarrassing to find trans people attractive or want to date a trans person or be dating a trans person. So there's just a lot of barriers to break down. Definitely a minefield. I really agree with that.
Oh, cheers. We didn't cheers.
We didn't cheers. Cheers. To a great date. So what do you do now?
I'm setting up a lingerie brand.
Okay.
Basically,
Fun.
I was very frustrated looking for lingerie. For the most part, the people that date trans people are really sort of secretive and they're really scared to be seen with somebody who is trans, and that's a really like hard pill to swallow. you just know that they will see you as completely differently from one sentence.
Oh, that's kind of heartbreaking. I feel like she's not had great experiences in the past.
I basically want to make products because I couldn't find anything that was made for trans women.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is me.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's always such an awkward moment. It's like you're like, I want to tell you, but I don't want to tell you, and I don't know how you're gonna react. And then you don't know if people get it. And sometimes when people have a very muted reaction, you're like, is this because you don't accept, or because it literally just does not matter to you? I need to know. I like, give me the information.
Oh my God, I'm so glad I got that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even notice.
Thank God.
Didn't even realise. Which is not a problem to me anyway.
Aww.
My old name was Daniel Zach. I was telling people my name was Crystal for a while, which is really it's a great name. My new name is Danielle, so it's not very bloody inventive, is it?
I feel like a lot of trans people do that, and there's no judgment either way. You can go the furthest away from your dead name, or you can like just tweak it slightly.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that just dry
Have you dated trans
nachos?
people before?
You are the first. It's not an issue to me.
My mother always says this to me, is that I was never camp, I was feminine. I wasn't an effeminate gay man, I was a woman. My mum's so supportive. She's like,
Cute.
She's a bigger advocate for everything than I am. She's great.
I love mums like that, and parents, and just allies in general. How sweet.
How long have you been on this journey?
So I was 17. Yeah.
And you knew beforehand, or?
I feel like I was the last person to know. Like,
Okay.
I've never really let it be who I am. Like, it's just a part of it. Would my life have been easier had it have been, it's a girl? Yeah, it would have been a lot easier, but I was just allowed to be really expressive of who I am. Like, I was never put in a box. I danced on a box, but I was never put in a box.
I feel like that's so important for kids. Like, a lot of people don't realize that the main element of like transitioning for kids is social. It's like, it can even be before they realize, but they're still allowed to express how they feel and what makes them comfortable. And it's just so important. Like, what does it matter in the long run what a kid wears in childhood, other than the fact that like you're going to end up with a happier child if they're just allowed to explore who they are and wear what makes them feel comfortable. I had parents who were exactly the same, where they were just like, you can wear what you want to wear, and I was allowed to express myself, and I was not forced into a box based on my assigned sex. And honestly, it makes such a huge difference. And like, looking back, it's cute, and I have photographs that I'm comfortable with of me in childhood because I was allowed to be comfortable in childhood, if that makes sense. So I always love hearing about trans people who've had like really positive, lovely, accepting experiences.
So how long have you been single?
Maybe 3 years.
Okay.
My last boyfriend.
Oh wow, you like dated a guy?
Yeah.
So you're like completely bisexual?
I class myself as pansexual.
Right, what is the difference between bisexual and pansexual?
Okay, so it basically doesn't matter what you got between your legs. If I get on with you and we have a connection, then it's
Do
fine.
you think that the terms like pansexual and bisexual are often just a sign of promiscuity?
People call me greedy.
Yeah.
I'm not greedy.
No, what do you think about that?
Why should I?
I really don't agree with that view of like, why are bisexual and pansexual people called greedy? I do find that really bizarre. It is such a common trope, and it's like, no, your pool is only ever as big as the people who are interested in you. And just because you are interested in dating more than one gender doesn't mean that you want to date more people, or that you are more likely to cheat on a partner if you're in a monogamous relationship or whatever. Like, it's just very bizarre opinion. But this is cute. I feel like they're both learning. How sweet.
Not be able to embrace everything that's about. Makes no sense at all.
I mean, that's quite a big thing. I mean, it says me, it's like, hi, trans. That's quite a big thing, isn't it? Wow.
Cute. That was a very nonchalant one. I'm just like, it doesn't bother me. No, I'm fine with this. I think as well, one thing just to quickly point out, because obviously the guy that she was on a date with was pansexual. I feel like there is oftentimes a misconception that, let's take like cis men dating a trans woman as the example, that cis man cannot possibly be straight. And there are many examples where that cis man is not straight. He could be bisexual or pansexual, but would in some way be attracted to women to date a trans woman. I think a lot of the stigma around cis men in particular dating trans women is then they get called gay. So straight cis men may have some hesitancy and like fragile masculinity and whatever of not wanting to be labeled that because they're dating a trans woman. But the short answer, what all this waffle is getting into, is you can be a cis man in a relationship with a trans woman who is straight. You don't have to be straight, obviously, but if you are a straight cis man, being with a trans woman doesn't stop you from being straight. Just like if you're a straight cis woman, being with a trans man doesn't stop you from being straight. Straight people can also date trans people, and so can gay people. You don't have to be bisexual or pansexual to date trans people. It's like a really common trope I've heard that like you have to be bi or pan to date trans people. You really don't. You can be very much on one end of the sexuality spectrum or another and still date trans people who match with the gender you're attracted to. Okay, second clip.
Chester is meeting to...
Oh, Canada. Okay, I lied. Clearly, I did not know I was lying, but I misguided you. We are not just watching UK First Dates, and clearly First Dates is not just a British show. This is Canadian. Yeah, it was very jarring to expect like British accents and hear Canadian, although as a Brit, I cannot tell the difference between a Canadian and an American accent. I'm not saying that's specifically a British thing, to not be able to tell the difference, but I cannot. What is the difference? If you were to like describe it, what would you listen out for to tell the difference? Or is it just you need to listen and learn? Anyway, what a tangent that was not necessary.
25-year-old Siam, who is new to Canada. She's hoping that tonight she'll finally meet the one.
Good evening.
To be honest, I hadn't experienced love.
My name is Siam, and I think somebody's waiting for me.
And I'm really interested. How does it feel? Love. I want to experience that.
Right this way.
But since living openly as a woman, Siam is short on experience when it comes to dating.
Hello. How are you doing?
The British one didn't have a voiceover, right? There was no narrator. I'm finding it moderately jarring. And just be like, since living openly as a woman. Okay.
I'm excited.
Oh, this is awkward. Please speak to each other. This is so awkward.
Do you have any questions for me? Honestly, I'm feeling a little nervous, right? So just relax.
Siam and Chester's date is just getting started, but there's one question Siam needs to ask before it goes any further.
You like transgender people, right? Yes, I do. How did you realize that? I used to do security downtown.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so they specifically... See, this one I didn't watch in advance. They specifically found a guy who's interested in trans women. See, sometimes that can be problematic in its own way, but not every time. I'm curious. Okay, let's watch. Yes. How did a security job lead you to this realization?
And every now and then a few girls would walk in, they would laugh, look at me. I just noticed there was something a little bit different. And one of them actually decided to have a conversation with me. Then later on, as I walked her back to her hotel, she told me. And she looked at me, she's just like, are you not gonna run away? I said, what? Just like, most guys freak out. I go like, why am I gonna freak out? It was your first time? Yeah.
I like transgender women because they've gone through so much hardship and they're now presenting themselves as they want to be.
I wonder if it's just kind of slightly clunkily phrased. I can't tell if he's like just into like he's really into trans women, like yes, or he's attracted to women, and that for him obviously would include trans women. I mean, trans women are women, so like they're under that umbrella of women, but unfortunately so many people, particularly straight cis men, very hard reject the idea of dating a trans woman. So I can't tell if they've just found a guy who's like, yes, I like trans women, I like women, that includes cis women and trans women, that kind of vibe, or if he is very like specifically trans women only. There is a difference.
And I don't judge. I do sometimes care about what people think and say, but at the same time, whatever makes me happy is what I'm gonna do. Even if it means someone makes fun of you, so be it.
Yeah, you're right.
Your family's still in the Middle East?
Iran.
Iran. Any plans for them to come to Canada, or?
They like to live in Iran. Yeah, they're happy there. But I wasn't. This is why I moved. When I'm born, I was a girl inside, and everybody knew that.
Isn't there an issue with transgender people in Iran?
It's hard for us to live there because we should hide ourselves.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I was afraid for my life in Iran. Being transgender is forbidden and it's punished to death.
Oh, shit.
It's just about 2 years that I am like this, and I'm not afraid anymore. I've just started my transition, and with the help of the doctor, I can be what I am, which is this. So you're okay if your partner hugs you or kisses you in public?
Yes, that shows a good relationship. If you can't show affection out in public, how can you grow as a couple?
I don't know why people hate trans people. It's so sad. I'm really glad that she's been able to find safety and build a new life in Canada, because that sounds shit, like really shit.
I think we have so many things in common with each other. I think the same. It's great.
Will Siam find what she needs in Chester?
About your last date, was she transgender too?
Yes.
Did you talk about this with your friends and family?
My mom has an idea that she knows that I'm a little bit different, right?
Okay, there's one thing that's bugging me. Like, he seems very, like, nice from what we've seen, and he's like, why do people have such a big deal? It's not a problem. Why do people have such a problem with it? I don't get it. But then, like, saying something like, my mum has an idea that I'm a little bit different, kind of implies that him finding trans women attractive makes him, like, not fully straight or something, makes him, like, not fully kind of typical, if that makes sense. And look, if people don't want to date trans people, fine, that's your choice, but it doesn't stop the fact that, like, if you're a straight cis guy and you date a trans woman, you're still a straight cis guy. It doesn't change your sexual orientation. So this kind of like implication of like,
Yeah, I'm into trans women. My last date was a trans woman. My mum kind of has an idea that I'm a bit different because I date trans women.
why would dating trans women make you a bit different compared to if you were dating a cis woman, other than the fact that you are open-minded and like accept trans women for the women they are? There's like a little something, there's like a nugget in here and like in my gut that isn't fully sitting right. It is giving me kind of like interesting vibes. Okay.
A lot of the relatives are very old-fashioned, but that's okay.
So you are so respectful to your family.
Yes.
When you know how to treat your girlfriend and wife too. Good to hear that. My biggest dream is to make a family for myself. I left everything in Iran, and I'm alone by myself. Just me. I have nobody else.
That's really scary. I hope she's doing well.
Do you like to have a baby?
Adoption-wise, if it's possible, that would be great.
I want to have my own family.
Yes.
I want to have my partner, my dog, maybe my child.
Yes.
Have my own family and start to living, you know? Do you like my makeup?
Yes.
Because I love makeup. Somebody thinks it's too much.
The conversation feels slightly stilted. I'm not getting much like chemistry between them. Obviously, this is just a few minute clip of an entire day. General comment, not specifically on this one. I would hope that shows like this would not just pair two people up because one is trans and one has said that they would be comfortable or / interested in dating a trans person. I completely understand the concept of like safeguarding. You would not want to put a trans person in a situation where they may face transphobia from the person they're on a date with. But I think there needs to be more going on, right? Other than the fact that the cis person is open to dating a trans person. They need to have things in common as well. And I just would hope that trans people are given like a fair shot and pairing in this show as cis people would be, while still maintaining a safeguarding and not just pairing them up with anyone where it could pose an issue of discrimination. Although you'd hope that they wouldn't be like uplifting those types of people on television.
You know what? You have a nice balance. It's very simple.
It was a very wonderful date. we just couldn't stop talking.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Hello. So,
Okay, they seem very smiley here. Maybe it was just like the editing, but the conversation did not seem to be flowing. But I trust that we saw a very curated, edited version of what they experienced. So I will take their version of the experience as what happened. So if they both felt like conversation was flowing and it wasn't awkward, then that's how it was.
I'm lost for words now.
it's normal. Is it rainy?
No, it's not. It just seems a little misty.
Do you want to see me again?
Yes.
It's a good answer.
You okay?
Yeah, you should help me for walking because I have high heels and yeah. Come on, don't be shy.
Is there an update? Oh, they get together often as friends. Okay. I'm not surprised. That was not wholly unsweet. I feel like she had a really tricky start to her transition, and I can see why there would be a real desire to find like family and people to find safety with. What do you think, Spuds? I'd be really curious to hear your opinion, because I'm not ultimately labeling this guy as anything, just kind of like a general conversation of, I got the impression that they were maybe paired together because he'd specified an interest in trans women. She was a trans woman and they were like, great, you two go together, because they were talking about like really that entire conversation was just about her being trans, which I know it's a clip, but everything was very focused on that. Even the guy speaking in like, what's it called, like with the little heart behind him, it was all about how he found trans women attractive and how his family felt about that. It's just giving me like a slightly uneasy vibe. Okay, so we had a really sweet one, and then one where like it wasn't bad, I just didn't love it, and I don't know, I can't quite put my finger on it. Now we have one last one. You ready?
I'm a bit of a biker. I love motorbikes.
You have all the leathers and everything, do you?
Yeah,
my God.
my leather jacket with all the tassels.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, you have to dress the part, don't you?
Wow. So why are you single?
Because I've never met anyone who I've had so much in common with.
Have you been divorced a long time?
Yes, I have. I haven't really lived with anybody since I got divorced from my husband. He was just a proper gentleman and just could always rely on him. But we just ended up more like brother and sister.
You don't want to feel like your brother and sister with the person you're married to. Definitely not.
Lads left school, then we decided to part.
Oh.
It's sometimes hard for me to show how I really feel, so I go, oh, I'm all right. It's something I've always done.
Are you saying that you were a bit heartbroken after that?
Yeah, looking back, yes, I was, but I wouldn't have admitted it to anybody.
Being alone, it's not the same as sharing it with somebody else, is
Exactly. That's what it's about. I want somebody to connect with, that's the word, or else I'm going to be on my own forever.
And you've been interested in women before?
It's nothing to do with men or women, it's just the spirit of the person.
Oh, she's like, I'm open. I'm here for the love.
I see us as spiritual beings. These are just the bodies that are getting us about. I wouldn't change one thing. I'd do all the same, all what I've done all throughout my life.
I'm the same.
That's what's brought us today here.
I'm just amazed.
I'm me. You think I'd have tattoos being as I'm a biker, wouldn't you?
I bet you've got some, haven't you?
I haven't. No, I haven't. Oh,
Not a single one.
One tattoo that I found madly in love with, it was a little fairy. I love fairies.
Well, I've got a fairy here.
You haven't.
I've got Tinkerbell. She's a bit busty.
Oh, yeah.
She's got attitude. We've got quite a lot in common, haven't we?
I can't believe it.
So...
Oh, you can always tell when it's about to happen. I feel like this has been like half the clip where they've just been like chatting. So this one feels a lot more natural and comfortable than the one before. Just where they actually do have things in common.
Since I got divorced, I had my own issues to deal with. I lived a double life for a while. But it's like a minefield. I just don't know how it's going to be taken.
Oh, I feel like she's gonna cry. Okay.
You ready for the big elephant? I'm transgender lady. My previous name was Robert. So
I'm curious if the production team are asking the trans people their birth names or if they're just giving that information. No judgment on the trans people if they're giving that information, but I know TV shows tend to really like that piece of information from trans people, and trans people can often feel pressured into giving it. I'm not saying that's what's happened here, just a little like PSA. If you don't want to give your birth name away, you don't have to. If these trans people here felt comfortable doing it, then totally fine. No problems. Just wanted to like say.
well, what you see is what you get.
It's nothing to do with gender, it's the spirit of the person. To me, that's what it's all about.
Is that all I need to say? Wow.
And your kids are all right about it.
Initially, it was a big shock. It was actually my daughter who alerted me because she said to me, you're not happy being a man, are you, Dad? That really touched me. I'd never, ever revealed anything to anybody.
God.
It was like somebody finally got me. I was fighting being a man. And I remember crying myself to sleep, thinking, when I wake up, I'd love to wake up as a woman.
I watch stuff like this, even as a trans person, and I'm like, how? How can people be transphobic? This is all about just living your truth. Ugh.
So I waited while my youngest had left school because I didn't want to put him through any embarrassment. And then I decided that I'd transition. My partner literally left, literally. It was brutal, absolutely brutal. I cried for a week.
But this is your life, and this is your life now.
I'm on an adventure, and I want to be somebody else's adventure. If you understand what I'm saying, sorry.
Happiness, my darling.
I want to high five you. You're a good girl.
You look gorgeous. You look absolutely gorgeous. You really do.
Oh my God. I could cry. I could. I'm not going to. Oh, that was so sweet. Stuff like that really gets me because it just shows the pure joy in trans people just being able to be themselves and have somebody not have an issue. Like, she was just like, I'm a trans woman. And the other one was like, cool, great, thanks for letting me know. And she was so shocked that that was all it was because her previous partner had abandoned her, just left. And I get it if like someone comes out into a relationship and it's not going to work because maybe you're a straight woman and you just don't find women attractive. That's fair enough. The relationship is probably not going to work out. But to just leave, I don't know, just because somebody had to live as themselves. I know it must be tough, but it just feels like a lot. I feel a bit jumbly with my words. I felt this was a very big spectrum of different reactions and types of relationships or potential relationships, and trans people coming from very different backgrounds. So seeing a trans woman who came out when they were quite young and had family support and has been transitioning for a while, seeing a trans woman who has had to leave a country and leave her family because she wasn't safe and build a new life for herself and being quite lonely and quite new in her transition, and then seeing a trans woman who is older and had a family and been married and transitioned after her kids grew up. And there's just a lot of variation. I'd love to see some trans men. I couldn't find any of trans men, but I loved this. I hope all of the lovely trans people in those clips have found love and partners and happiness, and if not that, then at least like chosen family and friends and people around them. Think about giving the video a thumbs up and subscribing if you want. You can also go check out my Patreon if you want to support me over there. Thank you to my patrons who are currently on the screen around here, and to my top tier patrons: Night Soul, Sugar Joe, Jilby, Eldon K, Nesta, The Third Hat Man, Jaden Cricket, and Max Makes Mods. Thank you so much. And thank you again to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. If you want to go check them out, then click the link in the description box to get a whole 4 months extra for free. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching. That is everything for today. Go leave your comments down below, and I will see you next time. Much love. Bye.